I'm Elizabeth Moss, the Chief Operating Officer for the Clinical Research Network East Midlands. It's April 2016 and this is my latest video blog. First of all, starting with performance. I wanted to update you that we're not quite at the end of the reporting year for 2015-16, but we're starting to see pretty much the final data for the Clinical Research Network East Midlands. And there are some real highlights in that. First of all, Divisions 2 and 5 have performed incredibly well, with both of those divisions exceeding their recruitment goals for the year, which is fantastic news. It's not quite the same picture mirrored across all divisions, as overall we will not meet our recruitment goal for 15-16, which was just over 56,000. I've reported on a couple of previous blogs that I thought it was unlikely we would meet them. And I think hopefully now we might report recruitment between 46 and 48,000, but that still will require a bit of a push. Now the recruitment deadline for upload has been extended, so we're looking at the middle of May, and all I really want to do is urge all of you who are involved in or responsible for reporting recruitment data to ensure that that deadline is met. And that we are capturing all of the recruitment that we have delivered in the year by the end of the cut-off time. Some of the highlights in the summary report that was recently circulated are that we still remain in the top 3 of the 15 CRNs, LCRNs nationally for our commercial performance in relation to commercial delivery to time and target. The goal is to deliver 80% of our studies to time and target, and we're looking at the moment around 72%. We're moving in the right direction, certainly. We're up in the 70s, and as I said, we are one of the top 3 performers, and hopefully this will set us in good stead for next year, where 16-17 that is, where our goal is to achieve 80% of studies recruiting to time and target in our commercial portfolio. We continue to be able to deliver within the research management and governance timeframes for study setup, which is fantastic news, and it's important that we maintain this in the early part of 16-17. Many of you will be aware that the regulatory environment is changing, with the HRA approval coming on stream in parallel with the ethics approval, so that RM&G won't exist in the same way going forwards. So the Coordinated System for Obtaining NHS Permission, or CSP, is no longer open for applications for research approval. There remains, however, quite a considerable number of studies within that system, and we will be working hard to ensure that we get those studies through and approved as promptly as possible. The system now, as I said, it is slightly different, and it requires something called HRA approval, and then a local assessment of capability and capacity, confirming that individual sites are able to deliver on those studies. The best port of call for assess, arrange, confirm would primarily be the R&D or R&I departments within NHS trusts. Although if you're unsure and you're wanting to set up a study right from the beginning, I would also encourage you to to work with the network through the study support service, which we can provide for you as a researcher, right from when you've had your initial idea to planning a study, all the way through to setting it up, establishing that study, delivering on that study, making sure milestones are being met, it's performing how you would expect, and then at close down, ensuring that we can learn lessons. So we are establishing the study support service. We're currently running a pilot in primary care and mental health, and we're working with our acute trust colleagues as to how we deliver the study support service alongside the HRA assess, arrange, confirm measures, and making sure there's no duplication, and we're providing as much support as possible to researchers wanting to deliver in the East Midlands. If you're unsure and you're wanting to set up a study, the best port of call within the network is one of the research delivery managers, or indeed the current RM&G teams who are in the process of transitioning across to study support service. I mentioned that the target date for recruitment data upload has been extended to mid-May, And the reason for this is that the National Institute for Health Research Clinical Research Network Coordinating Centre have recently launched the Central Portfolio Management System, or CPMS. That will complement the local portfolio management system we have here in the East Midlands, which is EDGE. EDGE will talk to the CPMS system, and so that information on studies and recruitment can be shared locally and nationally. Now, it's early days for CPMS, and we haven't currently trained a large number of users, because most users in the region will be using our local portfolio management system with the data talking to and interacting nationally. But we are really keen to ensure that those who are responsible for uploading studies, study recruitment for large studies which are based within the region, well, all studies that are based within the region, are really clear on what the new procedures are for uploading recruitment data. So if you're responsible for that within a study, please do contact the information team, primarily Paul Maslowski or Angel Christian, will be able to advise you to make sure we do get recruitment that's been generated in the region uploaded in a timely and proficient way to meet the cut-off dates. We've recently prepared and submitted our annual plan to our Clinical Research Network Coordinating Centre. Whilst it's not been formally approved yet, it has been widely circulated in the region, and if anybody would like a copy, please do get in touch and we'll ensure that is shared. Once it has been approved formally, I'll make sure that I'm feedback through one of these video blogs, some of the key priorities. But I suppose for me, the most important things that are detailed within that plan are around partnership working and communication. This is partnership working with our NHS colleagues, research delivery staff, R&D, R&I teams, also with partners across the NIHR in the East Midlands and outside of the East Midlands, other wider organisations such as the AHSN, Health Education England, Public Health England, and then there are providers of healthcare who are working within and as part of the NHS environment but may not themselves be NHS providers, so organisations such as CityCare, Circle, Nurture, Loros, St Andrews Healthcare, and indeed many others who are, if you like, part of the wider extended organisations involved in NHS service delivery. And it's important that we build partnerships with all of these organisations within and out with the NHS and NIHR, and that we improve our communication with all of our stakeholders. That's certainly something that's quite key in our annual plan. We've also had our budget confirmed for 16-17, and it's really great news. We've received a budget uplift for the region for 16-17, and that's reflective of the hard work and great performance over the past 2 years. We're now being rewarded for that. And it's really important that we make sure we make sensible investments with that increased budget envelope to make sure that we are then delivering better performance this year to inform our budget for next year. So in addition to the budget envelopes which we provide to our partner organisations, we're also establishing a strategic fund which we are really keen to, if you like, share out that funding to best effect. We'd like to receive applications from all partners for innovative requests to increase research delivery and performance and improve efficiency. So we're intending on opening that call for funding next week, and are keen to receive applications throughout the end of April and into May. We'll close that call mid-May and aim to make decisions on that funding at the beginning of June so we can make those investments as promptly as possible. The last thing I just wanted to quickly mention was the Research Awards. The ceremony for the Research Awards is taking place at the end of April. We had over 100 nominations across the 7 categories. The awards have all been shortlisted, and people have been invited to attend, where we will be announcing the winners on the day. It will be a fantastic evening. Jonathan Sheffield is coming from the NIHR. We have a great host and a range of really exciting guests who are going to be attending that. So we're looking forward to a really positive night where we can celebrate some of the successes in the region. And I hope this will be the first of many award ceremonies that we can hold in future years to recognise the hard work that's going on in the East Midlands in relation to delivering excellent research. Thank you very much, and that's my final comment for this month's vlog.